Today we're going to talk about a phenomenon in the music world. This particular band here is currently blowing up on Spotify, gaining thousands of dedicated subscribers, making millions of dollars in revenue, and basically it truly doesn't even exist. It is, in fact, an artificial intelligence band. Can you believe it? Comment below. If you didn't know you were listening to an AI-generated song, you might even be enjoying it. Then, suddenly you find out it's made by AI. In this video, you're finding out I'm ruining your happiness. Would you find it weird to keep listening? First point. Second point, if you knew it was an artificial intelligence band, would you start listening? Would you give it a chance? Comment below, I want to know. I brought in a specialist who's going to break it down. He's going to explain how this band was created. He'll give his opinion, and I'll give mine on the monetization part, on how to make money with this, okay? But he has some opinions, some I agree with, others I don't. Anyway, it's a cool debate. Share your opinion, and at the end of this video, I'll share his channel so you can subscribe, because his content is really worth it, okay? So let's get started. 3, 2, 1, go.
The songs are generated by AI. The images of the band are generated by AI. Everything you can find about this seems to be AI. They're really gaining a considerable number of followers on social media, but it's nothing compared to what they're seeing on Spotify. Oh my god.
Look at that. 850,000 subscribers in just a few days. That's incredible. It's attracting sponsors, it's making money, it's monetized. All created with artificial intelligence, so it's not the band that's making money, right? It's someone else.
In this video, I know I usually do a news video this week, but I want to change things up a bit and explain exactly how this band managed to pull off what they did. And I want this to serve as a kind of cautionary tale. I want to show you how they did this, mainly because I want you to be able to spot this kind of thing. If you don't want to listen to AI music and want to better identify songs and bands generated by AI, knowing how this was done can help you do that.
So that's exactly it? Would you be biased if you knew it was made by artificial intelligence? Or would you give it a chance as if it were an artist? You're giving a new song a chance, and you have to judge whether it's good or not, regardless of whether it was made by a human or by AI, which actually wasn't just AI. There was a person giving the commands, right? So there's a creative side to it. But anyway, would you be biased or not? Leave your comment below.
This video can also serve as a warning for some people who might be listening to AI-generated music right now without knowing it and have never realized. To start, let's talk about how they probably generated the songs they're using. They probably used Suno.com to generate the songs. This is a platform that offers both free and paid plans, and makes it very easy for anyone to create songs that really sound like they were made by a real band.
All right, let's go. You can use either Suno, which I use, or Udio, which I've also used before, so take note. Suno and Udio. In fact, on my AI channels for the soundtracks, I always use Suno, and you can create songs with lyrics or just instrumentals, and you can do it for free, about 4 to 6 songs, each around 2, 3, or even 4 minutes long. In other words, it's amazing for you to get started for free. Let's keep going.
Alright, so let's move forward. Log in here and make sure we're using the latest model. This is version 4.5 here. And then, if we switch to custom up here, we have all kinds of settings to really fine-tune the music however we want. We even have a feature called Persona, where if you find a musical style you really like and want all your future songs to sound like it, you can create a persona from it and use it in all your songs. This will create a kind of consistent feel throughout the music. To get started, let's generate a song, and you can do this in 2 ways with the lyrics. You can write your own lyrics, or you can let the AI write the lyrics for you, and simply tell it what kind of song you want to hear. I grew up in the 90s, early 2000s. I've always been a big fan of pop punk and Blink-182 and that kind of music. So, let's create a band in that style. Now you can't actually name a band. I can't tell it to generate a song in the style of Blink-182. It won't let you do that, so...
That would be cool, right? You go there and put in the band you like the singer, and it already picks up the style, right? But then they're avoiding plagiarism, right? Anyway, there are ways for you to do this that I teach in my mentorship to my mentees, but you can't just throw it in there. Like, make a song in the style of such and such band. You can't do that anymore, right?
You just need to describe it as closely as possible. And one of the easy ways to do this is to go to a place like ChatGPT and ask, how would you describe Blink-182's music in 1 sentence, without using the band's name or any other band's name? See what it gives us back. And we get Fast, catchy, emotionally charged punk with teenage angst, humor, and choruses that make you want to jump, scream, and cry all at once. Of course, let's go ahead and use this description here. I'll copy this. Go back to Suno, and in the description of our style, I'll put this as the style, and then for the lyrics, we'll make a song about a teenage romance that went wrong. Yeah.
Notice, guys, that there is indeed some creative work involved. Of course, the guy used ChatGPT there. You can use it. There's no problem with that, especially because a human being, so to speak, has other people to talk to, other influences. They can, use other people so that more than one person can make the song. So it's not quite like that, right? There's a creative aspect to it. But what can some people use AI for? The human writes the lyrics, right? Like in the traditional way, but they don't have money to invest in the instruments. So they use artificial intelligence just for the instruments. So for piano, guitar, drums, anyway, which would cost a lot of money. A high amount for you to take it to a studio, to hire artists, to form a band. So, I mean, you use your creativity and use artificial intelligence tools for the instrumental part, or it could be the other way around. You good at guitar, good at another instrument, and you want the melody because you don't sing well, right? You write well, you play well, but you don't sing well. And then you use artificial intelligence for the vocal part, right? So you can use it in these ways.
A good part of book 2 is about this kind of thing, because today will be the night that I fall in love with you. In the advanced options, you can exclude styles, change things like weirdness and style influence. Let's go ahead and leave these as default, and I can even leave the song title blank here and it will name the song for us. So let's create this and see what kind of music it generates for us. Alright, after about 20 seconds, it generated 2 different songs, both called Fading Fire. Both will have the same lyrics but slightly different styles, so you can decide which one you like more. So let's play the first one here. Alright, this is example number 1. Here's example number 2. We wet in a midnight mist. So, I think I like example number 2 a bit more. It's a little closer to what I was looking for. And since I like this style and want all my future songs to be in this style, I can click on these 3 dots here, go to create, and we have the option to create a persona. If I click on create a persona, we can give it a name. I'm going.
That's really important for creating a band, right? Because the band can have each song in a different style. And it really reminded me of the band Blink, for those who know them, right? In fact, Blink performed one of the songs from American Pie, right? The best comedy of all time. At least the first 2, right?
A solid pop-punk suitcase. We can give it an avatar and other things. I'm not going to make it public, and I know what it is, so I don't need to add extra details. If you want to make this persona public so that other people can use it, you can fill in the rest of the details if you want, but let's save it like this. Also, if I want to publish this song, I can go back to these 3 dots. We click on download, and we have the option of MP3 audio and wavy audio. I'm going to choose the wave audio, because it will have slightly higher quality, and you want to upload the highest quality, if you're uploading to a place like Spotify. Alright, but now I want to make more songs because it doesn't make sense to put just one song on Spotify. You want to create entire albums, like that band Velvet Sundown we were looking at. So I'll click on create again, and we can see that my new persona has already been set automatically, but let's say it wasn't. I just click on this persona button up here and select my consistent pop-punk persona that we just created. Make sure to keep our style description the same, and then we just change the song lyrics to a song about how growing up is hard. We can leave everything else the same. Click on create. This should create 2 more songs that sound like the same band. And a few seconds later, we have our 2 new songs called Growing Pains. Here
You make songs in 2 minutes, 5 minutes. It's good and bad at the same time, right? Because artists now, some are really worried about losing their career sex ed for the established ones, right? The successful person, that's fine. But what about new singers? What are they going to do? It's like, oh, I have a good voice, but AI has a good voice too. Oh, I'm a good writer, but AI is a good writer too, right? I believe that if you have a good voice and a strong stage presence, artificial intelligence won't be able to perform live shows, right? But when it comes to creating music on the internet or making songs for humans to sing, then I believe artificial intelligence is really going to take over. And then there's electronic music, right? In electronic music with DJs and all, I think it's all going to be done with artificial intelligence.
That's example number one. If we go back and carefully listen to the original recording, it should sound like a very similar style and a highly skilled vocalist, indeed. Very good. I mean, it sounds very similar to the music. No one would question that this is the same band. So, now we have a few songs. We have Fading Fire, we have Growing Pains, and you can keep building your song catalog like this. And it's quite likely that this is what Velvet Sundown did with their songs here. But there's still a bit more about this band here, because if we look at their page on Spotify, they have a band photo here.
Keep in mind that you'll need to have other additional skills, right? You'll need to have the ability to create the characters, create the images, and then if you want to do the marketing, because people like storytelling, they like stories, they like behind the scenes content, so you have to create the characters, you have to create their personalities, and you have to create their social media accounts. And on social media, you'll post images and you'll post videos. For example, I recommend the tool HEYGEN, which is the best avatar tool out there. On all my channels here, I use artificial intelligence, and on at least half of them, I use HEYGEN, because HEYGEN is used to create avatars, generate voices, animate avatars, and create images. And it's also useful for translating videos into multiple languages. I have 12 channels, 10 of them monetized in Portuguese, English, Spanish, German, and so on. So you can use artificial intelligence to help you out. I created a channel club here, and you can become a member. At level 1, you get early access to videos and your comments are answered ahead of time. But if you're level 2, in addition to all those benefits, you get exclusive videos, including behind the scenes content and more. And you can also make a post in our YouTube community here. You can make a post with a photo and ask me anything you want, and I'll respond to you with priority. So recommendations, maybe you're starting your own band, you can send an image there and ask me, hey, what can be improved? What other tools do I use? Basically, whatever you want as a level 2 member. It's right down here, right? Down here, you have like the like button, the comment section, and the join button. Become a member of the channel. First, you'll be helping the channel grow. And on top of that, you get all these benefits, okay? And there are even more benefits. Check out the list there, all right? Become a member.
And they created an Instagram with all kinds of images of the band featuring consistent characters. Now, to me, all these images look like they were made with ChatGPT's Model 40. I feel like ChatGPT has this very consistent style, where I could probably say it was generated with ChatGPT. They all have that ChatGPT image model look. So, if we go back to ChatGPT here, let's start a new chat, and in Tools, let's just create an image. You don't actually need to select this. If you tell it to create an image, it'll do it without you selecting it. But just to be safe, let's leave this enabled and ask it to generate an image of a 3-member early 2000s pop-punk band. And here's the image it generated of that 3-member pop-punk band.
I would, yes, on ChatGPT, I agree with him because that yellowish filter is from ChatGPT. But what would I do? I would use Sora, which is also from OpenAI. Look at the character consistency here. But basically, here's the thing. When you're in ChatGPT, as he showed, you can click on Sora, which was initially just for video, and you can put it here, see? And you have more control because you can choose image or video. You can choose the 3:2 ratio, which is a landscape, YouTube style, not quite 16:9, but similar. 1:1, which is square, and 2:3, which would be 9:16. That's the vertical format for ChatGPT Reels and Stories. So, for example, you can take this character here. Look, if you look, it's actually from a band, right? In this case, one that I created, but look how interesting this is. The guitar face, check it out. See? You can create it, and it has the same consistency. Look here. Several images I created here. Take a look, including Sam Altman, CEO of ChatGPT. You can create here with consistency. Look here. See, again, the character here in another one. I also use it a lot for thumbnails. So I would definitely use ChatGPT. It has really good consistency, but in this case, I would use Sora.
Which isn't bad. There's a guitarist, a bassist, and a drummer in the scene. And if we want to create consistent characters and make more images, we can always use this image as a reference. So, if we look at their Instagram page here, they made this image of all of them wearing orange life vests and holding paddles. You can tell it's definitely Ian because look at the inconsistency in the life vests. These guys have 3 straps. These go.
No, and look at his eye here. You can do way better. I teach my mentees to do much better than this.
These guys have 2 straps. These guys are all holding different styles of paddles with different buttons on top. There's no real consistency in this image, which is a clear sign that it's AI. I mean, they obviously look AI as well, but there's a lot of inconsistency there. Let's go ahead and try to create a similar image. Let's try a prompt like putting these 3 men with orange life vests standing on the beach and holding canoe paddles. They don't need to be holding instruments. Just show them on the beach, ready to go canoeing. Let's see if we can get people who look the same, just with different clothes. And we've got some pretty similar guys wearing those orange life vests and holding canoe paddles.
It turned out well, but what else would I do? He didn't upload the image here as a reference, right? Ideally, he should upload the image and then say, look, take this image, these characters, and then create them in another situation. That way it works better.
Just like we did with our Velvet Sunset. Let's get back to the video. That's probably how they created the song. It's very likely they also created extra images of the band for their Instagram and Spotify accounts. I'm not going to talk about how to create an Instagram account and post images there. You probably already know how to do that, and there are probably plenty of YouTube videos out there if you don't. However, if you want to put this song on Spotify, the process is also quite simple. There is a website at artist.spotify.com/getstarted that guides you through the entire process. Uploading music is quite different from uploading a podcast or an audiobook. You need to go through a music distributor who uploads the music on your behalf, collects the royalties, and pays you. As far as I know, there isn't a direct way for people to upload their own music to Spotify. However, it doesn't seem very difficult to get a distributor. One of the most popular is Dropkit. You can find it at dropkit.com/Spotify.
It's like you have a record label, right? So, for example, it's as if you were distributing through Sony, for instance, anyway. And then they receive the royalties and you get your share, right? Anyway, there's always a middleman making money off you. That's the truth.
There are a few plans, one for just about $25 a year and another up to $90 a year, offering different levels of analytics and things like that. I signed up for the $25 per year plan. Let's see how hard this is. In our backend here, we have 2 options. To master a track or to upload music. Let's go ahead and upload music, and then we get a few questions about where we want this to be done. Most of them I've never even heard of, and let's just go with the defaults. Let's set the number of songs to 2. Have they been released previously? Number. Upgrade to ultimate. Number. It's asking me for a band and artist name, something I haven't figured out yet. Let's go ahead and ask ChatGPT for an opinion. I'll give it a prompt. Give me a short and simple band name for a pop-punk band. It should be unique, short, and never used before. This will give me some ideas. Snape, Rocket, Vermin, Zinc, Great, Nork, Ratch, Ion Space, and Vex. Alright, let's go with Zinc. Why not? Alright. So you're telling me there are already bands named Zinc. So let's try one of these other ones. Nork. It says there are 2 bands called NORC. But it also gives me the option that this will be my first release as NORC. So apparently, I can use that name anyway. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'll select the same option for all the other services. All good. Main genre. Let's see what they have. I'll put it in punk. Secondary genre, I think I'll use pop since it's pop punk. All good. We need an album cover. So for our album cover, let's go ahead and grab this image here. And this will be the cover of our album. Let's see what the title of our first album is. Let's make the album title the same as one of our singles. Let's use Fading Fire. That's a cool album title anyway. So, album title, Fading Fire. Song title.
And you can take it to another level too, right? Then you can use Google's VO3, which I've already made several videos about here on the channel. Besides that, you can also use Runaway, you can use Minimax, you can use Sora. For what? To create the music video, you create a YouTube channel and make music videos for your band, and then it goes viral. Then it goes viral because people love music videos too. It's another way you can monetize.
Each track 1. Let's use Fading Fire. And then, it asks us to upload our audio file. So, let's grab the WAV file we got earlier. Fading Fire. WAV. Now, one thing it asks for is the real names of the composers. And I'm not sure what to put here. I think we can make up a name like Art as the first name and then a last name. So his name is Art Intelligence. I don't think it has explicit lyrics. Let me check the lyrics here. No explicit lyrics in Fading Fire, and no explicit lyrics in Growing Pains. This song contains lyrics, and that's fine. So now we're moving on to track 2. Our track 2 was called Growing Pains. Let's go ahead and upload our WAV file for Growing Pains here. And then the composer once again Art Intelligence. Everything else looks good. And here's a preview of how our Spotify account will look with our 2 tracks. Fading Fire by Nork, and Growing Pains by NORC. And let's go ahead and click continue, and it's uploading everything for us. Now it's analyzing the audio for us. It looks like you can pay more to upgrade, but I'm just going to use the originals. Let's go ahead and continue here. And it says, yay, your music is on its way. We're processing your album and sending it to the streaming platforms. Now, when will it be released? It says that streaming services should be given up to a week to publish a new album. So, hopefully our songs will be online soon. So as a super quick review of what we did to match what Velvet Sundown actually did.
Now, an important note that I saved for the end is this. He didn't mention that on Suno, when you make songs for free, you don't have the rights to monetize them. You can even publish them, send them to your friends, and so on. But when you start making money from it, you could have a problem in the future because Suno owns the rights. Now, if you pay for a subscription, then yes, you have the rights. Then you can monetize, make money any way you want. This is very important. Imagine, it goes viral, you get millions of subscribers, earn thousands of dollars, and then Suno comes and says, look, the rights to the song are mine, the song is mine. Don't let that happen to you, right? Go ahead, get the plan. Remember, folks, become a channel member, level 2, it's really cool. Ask me anything you want. And I'll leave some other recommendations here in this world of content creation and artificial intelligence. Stick around with me, okay? See you in the next video. See you soon.